nigga the other night when I had to do some voice shit for my job. I had the microphone propped. I was halfway done, then some asshole with firecrackers would start, and I had to delete it and start over again.
I mean, I thought it was just me, but it's like every night.
Oh, at 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
And it's consistent, right? It's like a schedule or something.
We don't live in the same area, so I'm hearing it nightly in Northeast. Yes.
Me too. Every night here at the house.
Right.
And everywhere. Listen, they have a secret society of firework niggas that text or do something that have set it off. That for the next 2 months or whatever, that we letting them off between like 8:30 and 10 o'clock, dog. It never fails. Them
look,
pop every night.
When the protesting was happening and people were doing some looting and all that other stuff, I had seen online where people were saying like the police have these trucks that have these big speakers that give off these sounds like fireworks and explosions, and that's to make you want to stay in the house. You know what I mean?
No, these are fireworks.
So I thought that's what it was. Like they're just trying to make sure people don't come out.
They doing that shit to the wrong people because motherfuckers coming outside when they hear it.
That's what I'm saying, but it's still ongoing. And I'm like, there's nobody. The protests are still happening, but there's no looting or anything like that. So I don't know. But then I just got to the point where it was like,
to be fair, there's fireworks this time every goddamn year. I don't know if they're this consistent.
No,
but usually happen.
No.
I don't know.
Nothing like this, dog. Especially now.
No. I mean,
it's been going
got
on.
blown up this year.
I've never actually gone outside to verify that it was actual fireworks. You know what I mean? I haven't seen anything.
I guess you didn't see my story yesterday, dog. It's official fireworks. I showed that on my story yesterday out in Somerville. I was sitting in a big spot on my block, and them Jones was going off around the time, like I said, like 8:45, 9 o'clock. Then I dipped off and went to the Fresh Grocer, and I saw young boys in the back of the Fresh Grocer with the sticks, letting them Jones fly. Like, yeah, they got fireworks, dog. It's not no speaker. They got the actual factory. I saw a funny post on the internet said them fireworks is going for like $20, $30, like them 4th of July Jones online. So that might be why everybody wilding too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those people that like them Jones stocking up. You know
or maybe because they realize people aren't going to come out in large groups for the 4th of July anymore. So they're trying to unload fireworks now so they don't get stuck with them when the holiday comes around.
I would be surprised if you don't see large groups of folks out fucking with fireworks.
Yeah, I think you're going to see fireworks all summer. I think this is just what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, to Sleeve's point, like, I don't remember where I was coming from, but I drove up, you know, where Chew Park is at, and they had a Father's Day cookout.
That's where I was at, dog.
Deep. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it was deep out there. So, like, don't think that anything's stopping, you know, folks from gathering up.
Oh no, that's the 30th straight year, dog. You know, we do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Uptown for the fathers every year, man. So that the OGs put that together, and they be starting like 9 a.m. cuz. You know what I'm saying? And it just thicken out as the day goes. I ain't go down there. I mean, I had the best seat in the house. I'm right up the block, so I got to hear it, you know, see it. But nah.
Well, you didn't like go down there at all to see what was going on?
No, I know who down there. You know what I'm saying? If it was somebody, like, I live right up the block. If it was somebody like that, I saw the people.
I ain't got to go. I already know who there.
Yeah, cool. If they that deep, they know I live up the block, holler at me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a father, too.
I would have thought you'd have been in the mix, Sleeves. You that ball with the people.
I'm that ball, but it's COVID. I'm still going to be smart, and I got my son. I ain't wilding like that. No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and if you didn't know, real quick, people, you're rocking with the best, the Bolts podcast, that is. You know what I'm saying? Brother Sleeves on the mix. My man Stop over there doing his thing. And you know, the ball down below. My man. We always gonna go at it. Who knows what the fuck we going at it today for? Brother Sky, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think we have to, Dwayne. Like, we could just be friendly.
We do.
Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, we don't. We are friendly. We have friendly competition every week, you bastard. Get on my nerve.
You got to fight about being friendly, right?
Right. Like all I'm saying is it doesn't have to be. He the one all belligerent, rolling up his illicit materials, getting all hyper and shit.
Yeah, dog. This ain't illicit.
We friends, right? Right?
So I'm going to twerk up. It's America, nigga. Say, what's wrong with you? I ain't worried about clocking in on nobody. They can see my ass. Look at me, brothers. Don't test me. Don't test me.
So, all right, let's get into some stuff. How y'all feel about the NBA trying to start back up? We got a tentative date of July 21st or something like that.
At first, I was with it, but as it goes along more and more, I don't want to even be selfish about basketball. It's going to be kind of ass to me because you're taking no fans. You know what I'm saying? Cats halfway playing. Because for real, with this COVID and the fact that just going into a training facility, coaches is getting it, this, that, and the third. Like, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as intense as it used to be because
everything takes place at the one facility, right?
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. You playing ball now, and you know, ball is up close and personal. That's beyond COVID standards. You got to be in somebody's face. You're getting boards.
Sweat.
You sweating all that. Cats ain't gonna be playing that intense like that now, dog. Worried about some COVID. Especially they come back after a game or two, and like half the squad got it. So then we got to quarantine again. They hoping that everybody get it now, so they can have all this quarantining done before that July start date. But I'm hearing the players is like 50% on that. Like some want to do it, and others like, I don't know, babe.
So, I mean, you know, they have families. Like, it's one thing for them to be in that predicament, but if the game's over, they get it and they go back to their loved ones. There could be a young one or anybody in a situation that's not 100% healthy or doesn't have whatever is required to fight that shit off. So it's a dangerous proposition on a lot of ends, man. As time goes, I am less positive that we are going to see sports in any professional capacity, like team sports in America before like Labor Day. I mean, like, what was it, like 23 Clemson players? 23 Clemson football players tested positive. Like, I mean, the awful theory is that, to Smee's point, it makes a lot of sense for everybody to just get it out of their system. That way, when the season starts, they don't have it. But there's no 100%, survival rate. You're putting people's lives in danger for something like this. And how can you be upset with someone who says, I'm not going through that shit, y'all crazy? For whatever reason. I mean, their own health. They could be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season and jeopardize their future earnings. Like, there are too many variables for us to ponder what they should be doing, what's in their best interest.
Yeah, I know. But, it's just league doesn't want to.
Football's worse. Like, these motherfuckers, like, you have to line up right in their face and just breathe and then get in a huddle and then, how can you train? How can you confidently train and confidently get on the court and execute at a high level with all the shit swirling in your head?
I know. And there's so many. And football also has just the blood involved. It's not just sweat and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, no. People falling on top of you and the fumble pile.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. I mean, I want to see it, like everybody else, but I understand, man. Shit, like, I'm
the wide receiver, you be getting pissed. The quarterback keep licking his fingers before he touch the ball. He's like, lick his hand one more time.
Something as simple as that, man. Like, these are things that you don't necessarily have to worry about with the UFC and boxing. It's a more isolated one-on-one thing. It's been cool to you've been watching that stuff?
I haven't really been keeping up with it like I should be.
Okay. Shit, man, it's the only thing popping, man.
I
Absolutely been watching that shit, man. It's been pretty good too. So other than that, like,
I want to talk about that too as we start to wrap this up. But yeah, go finish saying what you're saying.
Well, I mean, we're already talking about it. What the hell? You might as well bring it up now.
Oh well, because what I was going to say is
segue. Do you think?
well, I guess it's not a do you think thing. Obviously, we're seeing, protests and things on a scale that we've never seen before in our generation. Parents have. Civil rights movements, 60s, they've seen protests on this scale before, right? Bus boycott lasted for...
No. I got to stop you right there because this is different. They ain't never seen they seen protests throughout the USA. This is the first time ever in history that you've seen global protests, global, all over the world, dog. You know what I'm saying about this shit? Like,
no,
that's real.
You're correct.
They're different on a lot of levels. To your point, what you said, Sleeves, is correct. But I mean, when they did it back in that day, there was also kind of a license to fuck black people up that doesn't exist as prevalent as it does now. It happens now, and we see it now. But like, they could be sitting at a diner, just at the counter, and have motherfuckers doing all types of foul shit to them back then. So, and none of us are trying to compare one era with the other, but a lot of differences either way.
For a lot of people in our generation and younger, I would say, this is unprecedented. We've never seen protests on this scale in this country. No, Sleeve, you are right, though. This is an international affair, but in this country, per se. But, because, this has only been going on for a few weeks, really, right? But I was going to say, like, the bus boycott, that was what, 2 years?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
That's dedication, dog. Like, no, that's
right. So even this long, though, even these weeks, I know they pale in comparison to the civil rights era boycotts, like the bus boycott. But this still is like the longest that we've ever really seen.
Shit, man, we might be knocking on a month.
And to your point on that, think about, like, you're not trying to compare the two eras, but you got to compare the two eras. Back then, there was no internet. There was no social media. We live in an era of instant gratification. So a topic is here today and gone tomorrow, dog. Like, probably by the nighttime. And this has, you know what I'm saying, staying the course right now.
And this is how I'm going to tie it all back into the sports. Do you think the reason that we're seeing it on this scale here in America is because we don't have the bread and circuses, the distraction of professional sports like we used to? If we still have pro sports going on, do you think as many people will be out in the street or as concerned or spending as much of their time on social media talking about the protests and all the other social issues surrounding the protests as they are right now?
I think so, because it's not like you just see, your average sports fan out there protesting. Like, I would think a large majority of the people out there don't give a shit about sports. These are like young kids of all kinds of races. What Joel and Ben do in a Sixers uniform, I doubt, are of their primary concern. And it's different sports, like in this current time, where are we at? June what? June 22nd.
22nd?
You would only have baseball on right now. So it's not as if this would be like a real sports dense time of year anyway. Like, you would only have, summer baseball. Basketball would have wrapped up by now. You would have the NBA draft, but I think either way, there wouldn't be enough to take you away from there wouldn't be enough distraction to take you away from what's going on in terms of.
I disagree. I disagree.
I disagree too, though.
And I'm sorry, because I feel like even like Tom just was saying, like what Steven Jackson been talking about and what is real. Like, if you play, that's a distraction, bro. Because them people that might have went to that protest could be going to tailgate and go do that shit and get messed up, and that take their mind completely off of what they were supposed to be doing with these sports and things. At night, it won't be the same motivation, because right now everything's shut down. So now you got to focus in on what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
There aren't any highlights to distract you from what's going on.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Sports is a distraction away from all this. Yeah, it can be a cool distraction for certain things, but let's be real. In this climate right now, no. Like, that shit all need to be shut the fuck down for a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And besides, like you said, the like, you can do the fighting, the more one-on-ones. Like, you want to do tennis or some shit like that, like, cool. But like the team Jones, no, because there's too many rabid fans across this country period that will lose sight of a protest and go whatever your fucking team is. And that's where, and we back that shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? So,
and you do hear some people saying that, we do need sports back because we need a break from everything that's going on. We need this distraction. But I'm like, well, do we really need this distraction? It seems like we actually need to keep doing what we've been doing. And I know it is just baseball season, and I know baseball is primarily like a sport that attracts mainly white Americans for the most part. It's it has a multiracial, multicultural fan base, but the bulk of it. But I still even believe those people, because many of the protesters are white people. I still think that if some of those people would have been distracted by baseball and baseball highlights, and I still think they would have had another option. They might not have had the same conversations with their friends and their families that led them to come to the decision that, hey, I need to go out and protest or participate in some degree, in some manner, in these protests, So
you're definitely not wrong. Or the athletes in these team sports could use that platform to express certain things that maybe they wouldn't do otherwise, kneeling or whatever the case may be, to increase the conversation. I mean, it can be used correctly if it was there. It would just be a matter of the individual and how they chose to do it. But I could definitely see, to you guys' point, fuck this, all lives matter, go Padres, let's just watch this game, and then, whatever the hell else somebody wants to do.
Why it had to be the Padres?
Just like
First thing that popped in my head, dog. I don't know. I have no idea.
And he ain't from San Diego. Go fucking Phillies or something, man. We on the Philly, the ball situation. What's wrong with you? But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, but just like you sat back and I got a red cup, you got a cup. That's what they would be doing, dog. It would be fuck out of here with the all lives matter, taking they sit back, worried about what's going on in the score. The gambling would be up even crazier. That's going to create that. So that's going to take, like, yo, are you kidding me? That's going to take their mind away from that shit, dog. Like, it's not.
The second there is actual American, I mean, like, dude, I'm quite sure the sports betting apps have gotten untold riches from Korean baseball. I know they didn't gotten a buck or two from me. So the second American team sport, I mean, they already have, future prop bets and things like that, but I'm not betting on it because I don't see when the shit is actually going to start. Like, you giving me odds for the 2020 MLB champions and the MVP and all that shit, but there couldn't be a season. Now, obviously, you'll get that money back, but, like, I just need to see it before I even entertain the thought that it's going to happen, because especially with baseball.
Baseball can't even get this shit right now. They can't come to an agreement between 60 and 70 games, on what they want to do. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Baseball going to be the last to do it, because I always say that players union, they do what they like. It ain't like, football where the owners have a say. Like, if the Players Association of Baseball don't want it done, it ain't getting done.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And to go back to the NBA, I know they were, it was tentative. It was July 21st. But they weren't going to have any fans in the stadium either, though, right?
No.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's
basically, like, listen, you basically now going from the fan to basically real live pickup games for bread. And, to get in the playoffs and win the chip. That's basically what you're going to now. Because now
it's going to have a serious effect on the game, because, people feed off of the crowd and the fans, if they're not there.
For nothing, but there has to be some number of players, a percentage that, like, need these games and these checks to sustain life. Like, I get that we see these contracts and we think that they all big ball and shot calling.
We all seen the Broke special on ESPN.
Right, exactly. Like, they got
their money up and ain't see this coming. Yeah, at all.
I mean, like their uncle that's up in that condo, in the lavish part of in the big side of town right now.
All them rookies.
Shit.
All those rookie players.
You said uncle. Let's talk about the player that got 8 baby mamas. All right, nigga, right. And he like the 11th man on the bench, all right, and he already getting taken for about
on the bench.
2 stacks a month. each kid or something like that. Nigga need that check, dog. Like, you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I can't even get in the court right now to have my child support reduced.
Exactly. He can't even go to court to fight it. Oh, I know.
Can't wait to get back on the court. He's mad as shit at Kyrie and all these other cats talking about why they shouldn't get on the court right now because the bills is adding up, dog. And
yo, he texting him. He texts Kyrie like, yo, dog, if you don't shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? You goofy. I'm not, cuz. I'm trying to ball. Suit up, cuz. Yep. July 21st. I've been practicing, nigga. I know what you've been doing.
I mean, that's real though. Like, everybody ain't in the same boat, man, and that's the type of leverage that the owners usually have to get everybody on the same page. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What y'all think about you think about that noose in Bubba Wallace's garage? You heard about that?
Oh, of course. Yeah. What's just immediately horrific is the contingency of people saying that Bubba put the shit there. Like, with his spare time.
Like he pulled a Justin Smollett
type shit.
You're
right. Like, man.
Hold up, Ty. You got to do it, though. His name, I said, Ty, you got to do it. His name is Bubba. So it's Bubba's moment, ain't it? You got to give me.
Bubba's moment. This is Bubba's moment. I'll put my mother on it.
No way.
Oh man, you gonna talk about a one-hit wonder? We'll have to do that episode one day too. But it's rough, man. Like, I mean, you want to congratulate NASCAR for trying to get the races out of the sport, but all the races that are in the sport are like, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, you know,
like this is hardcore. This is hardcore racism, dog.
Oh yeah.
This goes centuries with.
And they've been allowed to chill with immunity, you know, encouraged to come and plant whatever flag you want forever. Just come on a Tuesday and you expect everybody to comply Wednesday through Sunday is a bit unrealistic.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. I mean, I think
they're gonna show their colors, man.
Oh, they already are. You know what I mean? You got people flying Confederate flags off the back of planes outside of NASCAR and all. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's like just.
I'm surprised they didn't burn a cross in oil in his garage or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're nuts.
Because listen, we model down there. We deeps out. We're deep south, and it will rise again. And that flag will. We're like, listen, man, that's the blessing I can't front, man, for us, for real, that we was at least raised up here in the East Coast. Like, we had different little takes with it between cops and people and little shit, but nothing on the below the Mason-Dixon level, dog. Like, you get what I'm saying?
We're lucky we were raised in the city. Because you go outside of Philly, there's Confederate flags like you're in Louisiana. It's ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous because you're like, this is the North. Like, you live in the North. Like, this isn't even the South. Like, you know, it's like, it's obviously it's not about heritage for you. This is Pennsylvania. They were in the Union Army. Like, you know, doesn't make any sense. Like,
yeah, they like to say that it's going back to their rebel roots.
And they won't have no Southern roots. Their family's been in the North forever. You know, so it's like, what are you doing? Like, come on, man.
Like, you're not from Philadelphia, but you're from Connecticut. Like, you're from further north. How are you claiming this Southern shit? And
you're from Danbury, Connecticut, or some shit like
that. Right. Yeah, dog. This shit. It's insane, man.
Because it's real though, because Pennsylvania does have like a crazy clan membership. You know, it's wild once you get outside the city.
And that's something I found out later on in life as well. Like when you step outside of our city, like from the state of PA, the shit is crazy. Like we really the really only city like in PA, like on some shit like that. Oh, like, you know what I mean?
Pittsburgh, to me, it's
Pittsburgh is
Philly and Pittsburgh.
I heard that too.
Like,
Pittsburgh is like rural and on some dumb shit. Like, it's not.
I mean, it's a nice minority population now. I guess what I'm saying. But to me, it's like, you know, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and everything in between is Mississippi. except for that small bubble of State College. But trust me when I tell you, you'll get your fair share of racism.
Hey, you go on the sticks, they call it Pennsyltucky.
What?
Yeah.
Call it what?
Yeah, that's real.
Pennsyltucky, like Pennsylvania and Kentucky. It's like, yeah, you were.
I never heard that shit ever in my life.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
I'm too glad I haven't. That mean I ain't
right. Like, yeah, that we can stay blissfully ignorant to that and keep our asses in these city lines or close to them, and we won't have to worry about that shit.
To no East Bubble fucking PA, like you can kiss my ass. I'm not gonna be the only boy in whatever the fuck PA. No, like you know what I'm saying. I don't. Yeah. I'm uncomfortable, guy. You know what I'm saying.
No.
Real small town, all the mountains, and it's
dog.
That'd be the easiest way to get your ass hung up on one of these trees, committing this involuntary suicide that they say Black people happen to be doing from trees. You know how much work it would take to hang yourself from a goddamn tree? Like, are you kidding me?
I could be
oh yeah, you talking about there's like 5 lynchings in the past 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, it's like I mean, Black people commit suicide, no doubt.
No, dog. Ain't nobody committing suicide hanging themselves. Fuck out of here, dog.
Black people commit suicide. But now, hanging themselves from a tree.
No, they're not hanging themselves, dog.
Yeah, it's just, nah.
Dog, we going back to the 30s, 40s, you know what I'm saying, 20s and shit. Like, we going all the way back with it. Like, I fight for my family. I'm a man, damn it. I'm a man.
There's too much, there would be too much work involved. Did you see that joint I sent you, stuff? That trailer on Twitter?
No.
What's this?
I sent you this joint that I saw. It's this show coming out later this year called Cracker.
Oh,
C-R-A-K-A.
I didn't see your message. I don't know why. But yeah.
Either way.
Everything is reversed.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw something else about it on Twitter. Yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, so like the trailer that I saw, it's like this kind of neo-Nazi white dude who, just is racist as fuck. Somehow, some way, he gets sent into an alternate universe, and in this alternate universe, the Black people are in the role that the white people are in current, America. Well, actually, this is like old school America because they're like selling white people and like whipping them and shit. So like, it looked very entertaining. I would advise. Sleeves, I'll send you the YouTube link so you can check out the trailer. But it looks pretty good.
Kind of like a 2020 version of White Man's Burden.
But it seems a little more intense because, like I said, this is like, Reconstruction times. They're going like slavery shit. So like,
oh, you're talking like antebellum South. Yeah.
Right. Like it looks like they pillage, plunder, and raping type shit going on. I don't know if it's going to be a Netflix or a Prime thing or what, but it looks like it's a series, not a movie.
Oh, but, really?
Yeah. It's not just the one thing. But it didn't show.
It better go on for centuries.
to that notion, Will Smith, Philly's own, is actually just signed on for a role with what's his name, Antoine Fuqua, for a slavery throwback. But yeah, crazy, right? But this is
that's his name. What the hell is so funny about the boy's name? Stop.
That's the way you said it, Antoine Fuqua.
That's all, because that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Training day. So listen, they're coming together and they're doing like a throwback slave John. But I guess you could say it's kind of on the tip like a Django, but not Western. Like he's actually a slave, but he's a slave that's out here killing masters and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like he's snapping and he going in. Like this is Will Smith on this joint. So
this might be the right climate for that. I mean, we had something like that a little bit before. I don't know if y'all used to watch Underground. It was a TV series. Came on.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great series, and they were all about their rebellions and escaping and all that stuff. But that kind of they nixed that. They get that on Axe, canceled it. But it was good though. But I guess it is the right climate for some rebellion. So we'll.
You're absolutely right.
I'm surprised the Nat Turner joint ain't on no cable channels, right? Or maybe it is. I don't have movie channels.
No, you're absolutely right. I actually, just you bringing that up, I forgot completely about that shit. I would love to see that shit. Like, what
but you have seen it though, right?
What you say?
You have seen the movie before.
No, the new Nat Turner
Right,
joint.
yeah,
No,
a couple years ago.
the
It
movie,
came
no.
out like last year or the year before. Like,
It was like
yeah.
2 years
No,
ago.
I never saw it. That's why I'm saying you just brought it
Oh
up.
man, damn! If I catch it on HBO or something, I'll let you know. But yeah, no, that joint was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to see that. I want to see that. Fuck them up.
Yeah, man.
Fuck them up.
Yeah,
Because
that was.
hey, listen, man, you on the line with 4 boys that definitely would have been on some Nat Turner shit. I'm sorry, I can't. It's just not going down, dog. We plotting, scheming, and we killing masses. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, it would really come down to whether or not you ready to go. You know, like
I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. I'm not.
I would think, and I'm not asking you if you down for that right now because none of us are in that mind frame. But in that stage of life, in that time, like to get down with that type of uprising would probably mean uncertain death. So you would just have to feel like, all right, fuck it, man. I'm ready to be done with this whole existence. And if me dying means that my grandkids can get something different, then ante up. Like Lori said, time to ante up and kick in.
Or it's just for revenge and you ready to dig 2 graves.
Or it's just like I'm not going to die. I'm going out, or if I want to die, I'm taking as many motherfucking crackers I can with me on my way out. You could better believe that shit. So that's it. I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah.
You ever hear somebody say that cracker it comes from like calling white people crackers, like saltine crackers? It's like, no. It's from the dude that used to crack the whip. Like that was the cracker.
No.
Like, it was always a white person. You know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, like how do you guys get that?
Well, even if it wasn't, they were supervised by a white person.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'll be damned if it has anything to do with a saltine. No.
Listen, random shit on that. I had to sit through it. It was actually kinda ass, but kinda good and funny. And it's Netflix in this quarantine. Tales from the Hood 2. I did not know.
I saw that.
They had it. I couldn't do 5 minutes, dog.
It's quality.
I couldn't do 5 minutes, dog. I had Fuck no, it ain't quality. Watch my ass. No.
It is. It's on Netflix. You can put it on and watch it and be entertained.
You gotta watch at the end. At least at the end, you gotta watch. You know how the moment happened when like Clarence Williams in the original was turning like into the devil and was like on some it's the shit. You gotta watch. No, but listen, Keith David at the end of this jump. If you don't even watch the whole movie, you go to the very end when he in the car with the white boy, and he jump in that white boy face and say, "This is hell, motherfucker!" Like I'm sorry, it's hilarious.
I'm obviously a Keith David fan, so you know. Okay, I'll give it a. But you already fucked up telling me
everybody in this town only got one good leg. She gonna grab the wrong one.
Right. Everybody remember Cuddy, man.
I'm telling you,
like all-time quotables, man. Cuddy's at least top 5, dog. Oh, he was so good in that
that's
movie, man.
That's motherfucking friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'd rather eat cat shit with a knit needle than send some pig's kid to college. What is that? That's amazing, man. Like, oh, he was so good, man. And I ain't want these revolutionary niggas here to begin with. Cut your eye at me all you want.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
You cut your eye at me all you want. What do you say, Ty? You cut your eye at me all you want. Yeah.
He had so many good lines. That's your motherfucking poking his friend. Oh, he was so good, man. Get out of here. Go, Anthony. Oh, like he's swinging that cane like he knew it was a rat, man. He was so good at that, man. God damn.
You want to watch
I might have to watch that just for that.
I know, right?
Watch that again, hey, man, and you forget the original classic, man. Money to Burn. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
Yeah.
He had that sinister grin on his face, man. Yeah, he made that movie great. I mean, it was already good, but like he was like my man Adolf Caesar in Soldier Story. He had that kind of epic presence in that
Yeah,
film.
yeah,
It's rare. Like
a
Sheldon.
great supporting,
some type of people,
great supporting role, supporting character. You know.
Like Peoples and Shaft.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or stabbing himself in the chest with the white shirt on with the ice pick.
You best kill me! You best kill me! Yeah, dog.
Half Sleeves didn't really want to talk.
Dominican when that shit came out.
You say you thought he was Dominican when it came out?
Everybody thought he was Dominican when that shit came out. It was like, it wasn't until like a year later, like, oh, he's a brother?
And not only that, then years
Dominicans
later,
are brothers, Kyrie.
Tell that to them. Tell that to them. Okay. Convince me. Don't convince them when they pushing your ass to the cops talking about we don't support nothing this nigga's talking about.
I know. A lot of them are like, I know black. I know.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
But some do know what's up.
They are NO black.
Some do know what's up.
It
trips me out. It's like you guys share an island with Haiti. You know.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a fine line.
Haiti, the same island. You know that, right?
Anyway, you were about to say something.
What's that, Sleeves?
So you said Dominicans share that with Haiti?
Yeah, it's the same island.
I never knew that. I'm a Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Dominican Republic and Haiti on the same island.
Never knew that. And I was there for my honeymoon back in the day.
Nuts.
Like you just gonna get in the buggy and head over to Haiti just to check it out anyway, dog. So it's okay.
I mean, you go to Dominican Republic, you can walk there.
That's crazy.
You walk there. You know, or ride a dune buggy or whatever it is they do. You a dirt bike or horse. You get there. Motorbike.
That's like Philly to Chester. All right.
Something like that, yeah. But I wanted to ask you how you felt about this. I kind of already know how Sleeves feel because he said he didn't want to discuss it, but whatever. I didn't know about you, Ty. A couple weeks ago, because we're a couple weeks behind. Man, Kanye West on the low donated like $2 million to pay for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery's legal fees. And he also donated some other undisclosed sums of money to black businesses and a couple other causes, especially in Chicago and stuff like that. I mean, is he like, would you say he's just trying to get back in the good graces of black folks after all that whole, period with being a Donald Trump supporter? Me personally, I'm going to say I don't think he did it to get back in the good graces of black people. I think it's something genuine because there wasn't a lot of publicity behind these donations when he made them. It kind of came out some time after the fact. It wasn't something he was trying to put.
Which could also be part of the whole grand scheme of things. I mean, more than anything, I try more often than not to assume good intent. But when you have somebody who is so ardent with Trump and knows how divisive just that alone is in the black community, for them to just go about face and donate like this, you would hope that it's just a charitable donation out of the kindness of their heart, but we can also do math, and 1 + 1, it's always going to equal what it equals. There's no way to 100% assume that Kanye did that out of the kindness of his heart. Even the most fervent supporter would have to acknowledge the fact that this is in light of what happened with Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's trying to be diplomatic and not say that motherfucker did.
No. At first glance on it, I might have had some with him, but actually I had to sit back and think about Kanye. Man, he's a fucking genius. And he sits back and strategically does things. He's a chess player, not a checkers player. And in that, he could have really set up and did all this shit in hopes of finding ways to get in that he can better possibly us and the community in a situation like how he's trying to do. Like how you get, because basically one thing I remember not seeing too long ago that made me think about something with him was that one of his quotes was that he was really happy that he was able to get some people out of jail.
Pardon, yeah.
You get
Would
what
he
I'm
been
saying?
able to do that if he wasn't wearing the MAGA hat?
Yeah, exactly. On some
Would
front
Trump have
end,
even entertained him and his wife if he wasn't?
you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? In that, I can see that. And now, I mean, he ain't rocking no more Magna hats. He ain't on that shit. He ain't been on that shit for a little bit. And he's looking out for squad and the city and how he trying to do it. Listen, man, at the end of the day, no matter how much money you got, we all know it's your money. So you have the choice to do what the fuck you want to do with that. And anytime you want to give back, I don't give a fuck about however, dog. You giving back. Like,
Right, it's a good thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Motive be damned. It's appreciated.
Exactly. So come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, I think Ye on a different type time. And I think he used Trump. I like Trump try to use motherfuckers, but he sat back and used it because he know his power and his celebrity, because he know the fucking crazy plan he already married into. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? That can get him in the mix with that shit. Like, you get what I'm saying?
You know, well, black people are like magnanimous when it comes to their forgiveness. So I think as long as he keeps going down this path, he'll be back in black folks' good graces before you know it. You know what I mean? He'll drop a new album. It'll be crazy.
About to say, he always one hit away.
yeah, that's what, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
One hit away, baby.
You know? Ain't talking that Trump shit. Oh, but did you hear that Johnny drop with 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne and
yeah, I know.
or some shit? Like, you know, the next thing you know.
Yeah, he's back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, he could be on TV. Donald Trump does not like black people. Like, oh,
right,
man.
like, and that just goes to show you the roller coaster that he's been on, man.
Yep.
For him to go from that extreme to talking about how much of a supporter he is, hugging this man on camera and all this other big shit, like, yeah.
Well, you should relate to the brother a little bit. Yeah, Gemini, like, your motherfucking ass, you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's the first punch.
Did you feel it? Did you feel? I mean, yeah. I guess I'm responsible for everybody born in June. So Trump's birthday's a week after mine.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
So,
man.
what I'm saying is, I'm
an
down with that
group.
shit too. I can't speak for everybody, dog. Shit. You know, I'm
Yes,
quite
man.
sure there's plenty of asshole Aries. There has to be, because you're one.
One of them.
I just said it. I just said it.
Listen, I'm fucking with you, but I'm just saying, like, bottom line is, man, eclectic brother, and that's it. And he gonna use his mind, and he gonna think about it all the way through. However, and he gonna do it his way. That's just it. So I'm in that. I ain't mad.
And I think that's probably a human being trait, but I could see that being a Gemini heavy thing, at least to the outsider looking in. You know, when you think about celebrity Geminis and you guys think about me, like, you know, if we want to do something a certain way, it's going to take heavy objection to like go the other way. So maybe that's something, I don't know.
Simple question for you. And this is what I ask most motherfuckers as Gemini. And I don't think I never asked this. Really, do you ever, even when you about to go to sleep, do you ever really just cut your mind off? Are you always thinking all the fucking time?
I can legit remember, and I'm not even lying to you, I can legit remember one night that I was able to cut my mind off and go to sleep in the last 10 years. And I'm not lying to you. And it took such concentration for me to do that one night. And I woke up so free, and I've never been able to duplicate it again. I shit you not. Yeah, man, it was like, because I didn't think about anything, and I just went to bed, and I woke up, and I was like, God damn, is that what it feels like? That was awesome. But I haven't been able to do that again.
Yeah. So, and it's not, listen, bro, it's a beautiful thing, but that's what I'm saying. And obviously, I got to know motherfuckers to even fathom that question, and that's real. So that's what I'm saying with y'all. So it's a difference, dog. Like, y'all always on y'all shit. It ain't no cutoff, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? That joint working. I can just
run it.
Exactly.
That just disappointed me, man. I wish I could do that again. It was so free.
One time.
What was Corona dating etiquette style?
I don't know. That was something Sleeves had mentioned.
Well, it wasn't even Corona dating. I don't know where we came from. Corona dating.
It wasn't. It was something more specific.
No, you put it. You just added Corona in there. It was about basically rules when you dating somebody and if they following you on social network, social media. Are there rules? Are there certain things you try to do or whatever, this, that, and the third? You dig? You dig? You know what I'm saying? But just throw it out there. You know what I'm saying, in the mix, because you know, in my time, in my day, over these years of social media, you know, it's been ups and downs with that. So, you know, I'm just curious. You know what I'm saying?
I really can't speak. I've been out of that game for a long time.
So
I said, Sleeves, you got to lead the conversation.
But so because as a dater currently, I don't know that I would have those same issues because this feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels like an Instagram specific thing. Like I don't know what type of flack I can get caught up in.
I mean,
liking Facebook
social media,
pics, but maybe it could apply to Facebook too. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Look, no, you got between Graham and the book, simple and plain. That's your media basis. So, and in that you have social. So in that you have pretty much on your social media feed, both either the Graham or the book. You can like the pic, you can comment on the pic, and if you decide to comment, you can, you know, say something, or you can leave. What do they have? Emojis. You dig? That you can actually put up if you like. It's interactive. It's
Look at Styles like this shit interesting. What the hell he about to say now?
No, I'm trying to learn something.
You know what I'm saying? Right, yeah. It's interactive. It's meant to be interactive. You get what I'm saying? That's what the algorithm is for. But if you happen to have a picture up and you get maybe an emoji or somebody that may be a friend, not a friend, just fond of the picture that you put up. And it might be like a joint with smiley faces or joints with hearts in them or something like that. Like, you don't respond, you just see it and you swag out. Like, okay, cool. They feeling that junk. You know what I'm saying? And keep it moving. But
I feel like this is taking too long. What are you saying?
It's not taking too long. Let me break it down for you, you bastard. You get what I'm saying?
You got to build it up before you break it down.
I get impatient. That's I'm a sip. Go ahead.
Exactly. You done fuck my whole shit up. Bottom line is now you piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? You just want to get all to the shit. This is bottom line. Would you care if your joint you might be talking to, seeing or whatever like that, you go through her page and boys is thirsty as shit on her page? Would you give a fuck? Wouldn't that, me personally, that'd be like, oh, all right, yeah, that's cool. Because I'm actually dealing with her in real life. I don't really care about, you know.
No, I don't give a damn. And you know me. So you know I'm telling you the truth here. Like, you can get all types of comments and likes and all that type of shit. It doesn't have any bearing on our relationship. I would hope that I picked well enough that other people find you attractive and they're also, you know, sending, you know, that type of thing. Like, I guess it's a good question for staff. I'm quite sure your wife has Instagram or Facebook, and maybe it wasn't clear. Like, this person isn't your friend. You just saw some random person. Wow, you're beautiful, on a comment to her. How would you feel? She didn't respond. She just saw you just see the comment. She didn't respond. It's just there. You don't even know this person.
Well, you know, first off, you're gonna be like, who this? You know, but no, look, like I'll say this, right? And I'm glad you brought that up, Tyreek. But I feel like if you or your partner isn't some type of public personality or something like that, or a celebrity or something of that nature, I don't know if you should be, I don't personally feel like you should be friends with people who may be sexually attracted to you. on social media like that. I just
How
don't
can
think
you
that.
tell?
Huh?
How can you tell though?
Well, like say you got a page and somebody starts putting up pictures like, oh my gosh, you beautiful, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
They can't just
First
say that.
time it can happen, that's one thing. But if it's like on every post, and it's like, you probably got to unfriend this person because
all I
you
said
know
was
what
the
he's here
first time.
for.
I'm not saying. I just said the one time, just the one time. How are you feeling about just the one?
Oh, I mean, just the one time you let that shit go. Whatever. You know what I mean? But when it becomes a repeat occurrence, you know what I mean? Then it's like, nah, obviously this person has some ulterior motives. They might even be ulterior.
Remove
Might be,
this motherfucker
yeah,
from my site
yeah.
and this
Like,
platform
DM'd me.
immediately.
It's going to mess up the whole experience for both of us. Because you don't want to have it get to a point where now it's like, you know, and I don't even get on Instagram like that. But now, you know, you'll be on there looking and say like, oh, is this person still under your pictures? Why are you still friends with this person? Like, why did you like that comment or that attention? That you it's like, nah,
Hold
you
on.
cancel all that.
Well, hold on. He can say that. Ty, he can say that, and that's why we laughing. You're married, bro. So
So it's different for me.
Yeah, no, it's the dynamic is 1,000,000,000% different.
But when you're single, you don't have to do all that. You know what I mean? It's like, but once you get in a serious relationship, though, but then is it corny to start unfriending people that you were friends with prior to this relationship?
exactly,
Yes.
because
Yes,
like, that's
it is the fuck corny. Like,
and also, what's very important is she posting pictures of you and her together, or is it always just her by herself? You know, like nobody even knows that you're in the picture.
Listen, man.
Stop went deep. Stop hit a couple extra layers in this just to make. So is she just posting this shit and we married and everything and she ain't posting me next to her and shit and I ain't supposed to be mad with somebody saying it ain't like, I don't know that the scenario got that deep in our heads, but
she's presenting herself. If y'all are married and she's always on social media, and this can go either way. It doesn't just have to be about the women. This can be about guys too. If you're in a relationship or married and your partner is
No.
You
got to do it right now, bro. It's two different. But listen, we all been in this marriage shit. Some still here, some not.
Okay,
so in that, yeah, it's either marriage or relationship, bro. I mean, like those are two different things because fuck that relationship. You're still halfway single, dog. Like fuck out of here.
But see, that varies from person to person. If you are in a serious relationship, okay,
all right, that's different.
Or well, hold up. Or because you're supposed to be certain levels of respect involved if you're in a serious relationship. You know what I mean? Serious relationships lead to marriage. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I think if you're in a serious relationship,
the same rules apply. I mean, you know, same social media rules apply in terms of serious relationship and marriage. I don't want to, you know, like undermine, you know, the sanctity of marriage. I get that that's a whole nother realm, but in terms of the respect, what you should and shouldn't do, always keeping your partner's, you know, thoughts in mind before you do X, Y, Z. I think the same.
Right, they do. Because if you can't do those things in a relationship, then you're definitely not going to be able to do them in a marriage. The relationship is just practice for marriage. You know what I mean? Right. So, but like I said, though, you know, like there's got to be certain rules and things like that. And like I said, if you're in a serious relationship and your partner is always on social media posting pictures all the time, they never post pictures of you, and then you got people of the opposite sex commenting, flirting with them under their pictures and everything like that. And like I said, and they're not some kind of public figure. You're not somebody who sells sex or a person who has fans or you need fans. You know what I mean? To stay in your business.
This might be weird for you, Stop, but remove your marriage brain. Let's just say you were casually dating someone. Put yourself in that brain. You're casually dating somebody and you putting whatever stock pics you putting up on Instagram showing your stoplight and, you know, insert woman here, you know, Renee is liking all your pics, but you're dating Jessica. And because Renee is liking all your shit and commenting on it, are you supposed to have to explain yourself to Jessica is the question.
No, because me and Jessica, like you're saying, are casually dating.
Right. No, exactly. In that scenario,
it's not even a serious relationship. We're just
Right.
casually dating. You know what I mean? It is
Yeah.
what it is. And Jessica has to know that. And it would be in her best interest not to really get too upset about somebody else flirting with me on my Instagram, even though I can understand it because we may be casually dating, but maybe Jessica doesn't want to be a casual dater. Maybe she wants something more serious.
Right.
So I can understand her, but then we need to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
No, you answered the question. Like the answer was she shouldn't be able to just outwardly give a fuck about somebody else randomly commenting on your page if you guys are casually dating.
No. That's her. She can do whatever she wants to do.
No,
if she wants to get caught up, yeah, that's her. But do I have to sit there and do what she's asking me to do? If let's say she's saying, cancel Renee or whatever.
But you feel like you're right. You don't feel like you owe her an explanation.
Yeah,
I guess
I ain't gotta cancel Renee.
And hold on, you don't. Listen, man, you don't.
It's social media. Come on, Jessica. You know how this works.
And that's no, listen, and that's what it is. Period. Like, I'm sorry. Like, unless it's just getting out of hand with somebody and it's some shit. But that's what it is. Period. Because that's, to me, that's where I come from. My private life is private. Social media is fucking social media, dog. Like, I don't take this shit serious, dog. Like, I'm never going to be the boy that see somebody like somebody that I'm dealing with or something like that. Look at that boy page, see what's going on, and like, you get what I'm saying? Holla at boy because he like, I don't know, 10 of her pictures. Great. I'm going to bomb the shit out of her tonight. Thank you for liking all her pictures. Thank you.
But at the same time, though, if you are in a serious relationship, it has to be serious, then you do have to take your social media a little more seriously because it has ended relationships. Because people aren't on the same page.
Hold on. You just said if you're a public figure or somebody like that on there, that means you getting thousands of followers, dog. I ain't got time to be worried about all this shit.
Exactly. That's why I said, like, on that scale, it's different.
No, but that's the scale. Like, hundreds can lead to thousands. So I'm not going to be worried about that shit on none of that. My thing is, if you don't respond and you don't pay that shit no mind, then I'm Gucci. If I'm responding, thanking you, oh, cool, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third, like, then I'm drawing. You get what I'm saying? Because now
I absolutely hear that.
I'm entertaining, and I'm interacting with that. But I'm not interacting with that shit. That's just social media. Ha ha, good looking, appreciate it.
That's why I said that. Like, if you are like a celebrity or somebody who needs a larger, fan base to sustain your business, and you have people flirting with you, it doesn't really seem like a big deal because odds are, like you're saying, Sleeves, you're not going to be interacting or responding to most of these people. Like, think of a heartthrob, leading man, The Rock. I'm sure there are plenty of women on The Rock's Instagram, all kinds of heart and eye emojis and kiss me and all this, I love you, biggest fan, and he don't respond to none of them. He don't respond to none of them. It's like, he don't have time to do all that. Yes. Now, if he's single, I'm sure every once in a while he might scroll through to see who's saying what and see if they're worth some of his time. But for the most part, he don't care. He probably don't even check it.
That's something different. But yeah,
he's got to turn his notifications off. There will be so many. You know what I mean? Your phone be blowing up all day long. So it's like.
So that's just how I feel. I mean, I just think it's one of them things. Like you said, you can have a discussion, but in the discussion, like, depending on where your level is on where you at with social media and what you're trying to do, and then not only that, like you said, you got people that you done dealt with or might have been talking to before, and this, that, and the third that you mess with or school with or fuck with, and this, that, and the third, and they got love for you. They want to do what they do. Like, listen, I'm not unfriending you because of that. Like, this is social media. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't drawing in my room, that's it. Like, but that's my point of view on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got their own shit with it. And I'll respect that with that. You get what I'm saying? But that's where I, you know what I mean? That about all.
Yeah, anything else you want to touch on? I have some other topics, but I'll save them for next time.
Man, yeah, at some point, to talk about some of this music that done came out through the COVID. You know what I'm saying? I'm still eating a lot of Alfredo right now. You know what I'm saying? Even though we talk about why you don't really like that junk. but I'm fucking with that junk. Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo.
And we'll talk about it. I ain't never seen. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying? I know the Lord watch over babies and fools. That's all I know, man. You know what I'm saying? That all.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You dig? So, but
All
listen,
right, well, please, well, take us out of here, Sleeves.
I mean, ain't much to it, man, but to do it. Sleeves in the building. Good brother Staff over here, man. Militant as always. Ty on the chill. You know what I'm saying? Sky Ray. You know what I'm saying? Good brother Mighty Dread on the shots and the cuts doing it all the way live. You know what I mean? Hit us on the Grizzam. You know, YouTube. What is that? Spotify. Man, iHeartRadio. All platforms. Bastard. Stitcher as well. And listen, man, hit the subscribe button, dog. It don't take nothing but like a second to just hit bang subscribe. We get them Jones up. Damn, we like a check.
Yeah.
We get y'all quality entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Follow on Instagram. We need the followers on Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Guess what? It don't matter how y'all feel. This shit ain't stopping. Like Diddy in the 90s. You understand? It's coming, baby. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Balls, man. Podcast that is. We everywhere, man. Serious.